So after I listened to Spare Parts, the Fifth Doctor Big Finish audio production, everyone told me that the Doctor who actually got the most out of the Big Finish audio productions was the Eighth Doctor, which I suppose is understandable, given that Paul McGann's Doctor, in terms of his on-screen tenure, only really had two go-rounds, one in 1996 with the TV movie, and the other in 2013 with The Night of the Doctor. So I felt the next one I should pop on should be one of his, and the latest Big Finish audio production I ended up listening to was the 16th one released by Big Finish, Storm Warning. This was originally released in January 2001 and was written by Alan Barnes. The Eighth Doctor, voiced by Paul McGann, finds himself on board the R-101 airship, which was a hydrogen kind of Zeppelin airship that apparently was an actual thing, and it originally took off from England, heading to India through France in 1930, during the reign of George V. However, the Doctor knows that this ship isn't going to have any better luck than the Hindenburg, as it notoriously crashed in a field in France, and of the 54 people who set off, 48 of them were found dead. However, knowing that this is going to cause problems, he also finds that everything on board the R-101 is not quite as it seems. While on his trip on board the R-101, he ends up running into several characters, including the new companion, Charlotte, or Charlie Pollard, voiced by India Fisher, the kind of head of the expedition on board the R-101, Lord Tamworth, voiced by Gareth Thomas, Lieutenant Colonel Frayling, voiced by Nicholas Pegg, Chief Steward Weeks, voiced by Hilton Collins, and an eventual spy named Rathbone, voiced by Barnaby Edwards. And the Doctor discovers there's a lot more on board the ship than they realise, as they've got a Vortisaur, which is kind of supposed to be like a pterodactyl-style dinosaur monster, which is quite a joy to listen to. And he also finds that they've got a kind of humanoid creature on board the ship known as a Triskel, voiced by Helen Goldwyn. And it's revealed that Tamworth has kind of agreed to transport this thing, and they get abducted, and kind of a lot goes on. It turns out that they've been kind of recruited or have been brought there by a group of creatures known as the Uncreators. And while the Uncreators, their main goal that they want to do is because that they have kind of set roles for each member of their species. Only their chief lawmaker is growing old and is dying. So they need to find a new lawmaker. And they're thinking, well, maybe someone on board the ship could do it. However, it grows to be a bit more complicated when Rathbone, the spy, voiced by Barnaby Edwards, shoots them and seemingly declares all-out war on the Uncreators, mainly because he wants the Uncreators, or whatever the creatures are called, to bow under the British Empire. And yeah, this story, it does become a little complicated, but I do see why people say this is good. I do like this story, and given the Eighth Doctor didn't really receive that much of a tenure on TV, I can see why people said he got it in Big Finish, because I can listen to him here and just go, yeah, that guy's the Doctor. I mean, as I said, while he didn't get that much time to shine on TV, here Paul McGann just slips into the role like a glove, and he owns it. I also really love his new companion, Charlie, voiced by India Fisher. She gets the point across. She's this young person, this young adventurer. She just wants to see the world, and even though she's not supposed to be there, given by the fact that early on in the story she is just pretending to be a cabin boy, she just brings so much life to this. And even towards the end of the story, when the Doctor is kind of debating with himself what to do with her, because he knows by all accounts she should have died in the crash of the R-101, but she has survived, he's just like, he's unsure what to do with her. But then she just goes, well, I'm going to travel with you, I just want to see the universe. She's like, alright, let's go then. And yeah, Is this the best Doctor Who story ever? Probably not. I mean, in terms of my overall ranking of Big Finish stories, I'd probably put it below Spare Parts. But given that I've only at the moment listened to two Big Finish audio stories, this is still a really good one. I mean, I'm sure I'll find worse to come, but I mean, I may get better, but I'll also get ones that are weaker than this. And you know what? For a first go-around for the 8th Doctor, this is a good story. I don't know if this was his first one, but it works. So if you haven't yet seen Storm Warning, give it a shot. I do think it's a great story for the 8th Doctor. It introduces a wonderful new companion, and it shows some people in a tough situation. How are they going to get out of it? Keep showing your toes. Anyway, it's ultimately 4 parts, to which I listened to it on Spotify, where it had about 24 tracks, but just, if you have the time, listen through to it. It's about the length of an average Doctor Who story, which kind of usually is around 25 minutes apart. So it's around about 100 minutes. But yeah, listen to it if you get the chance, because I trust me, you won't be disappointed. So there you go, there's my quick little review of the Doctor Who Big Finish story, Storm Warning. Anyway, enjoy. See ya.